Hello, Scorpio. Welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Winging Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. We're getting close to the end of Scorpio season. I hope you've had an amazing month. A happy birthday to those of you who I haven't had a chance to say happy birthday to. All right, let's get you another bonus reading because Scorpio, you continue to have some of the highest viewership, so I'm going to continue to send you out readings. All right, what does Scorpio, thank you. What's hidden from Scorpio? Thank you. Outcome and advice. All right. Beautiful. All right, let's turn these cards over, see what we're working with here. Wow. Death card, scorpionic energy. When you show up in your reading, it really allows you to take advantage of the energies because you're showing up as your authentic self. So, Scorpio, transformation, death card. What a great image too. Very interesting. Got the third eye chakra here. Okay. So, transformation, something ending, a definite ending. In the original image of the death card in tarot, the death rider is above a religious figure, the king. Someone is gone, has perished. Something is definitely over. But just like the king is dead, long live the king. Once something transforms, once it's over, then it's on to a different form, something else. Feels like you're leaving something behind to become something different. We've got a moth here or a butterfly, another transformational type of energy. All right, what does Scorpio need to know? Thank you. Wow. I've said wow because there's the first three of the four cards are major arcana. When I get a lot of major arcana cards, it tells me that it's a core issue. It's not just something that's happening this week or a day. It's significant energy. We've got the Hierophant, Taurus energy. We've got the Chariot, Cancerian energy. And then we've got the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. We've got water and earth here. The other card was the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay. There's some type of ending. Boy, it feels like it's shifting who you are, transforming who you are, how you show up. The Hierophant feels like you're stepping into an authoritative position. It feels like you're transforming out of like student and becoming the teacher, coming out of a learning process, and you've learned something, you've figured something out. There's some type of key that you found, that you figured out, and you're making moves on that, outward moves. Moving on with that knowledge, with that, it's very healing, whatever this new information is. Feels like you've gone through maybe a dark night of the soul, an ego death. Both with the Hierophant and the Hermit card, I'm getting these energies of you've learned something profound from a difficult situation. And it's allowed you to become enlightened. And so that the version of you that's not enlightened, that didn't know, it feels like that student, the person who's in lesson, that version of you is leaving, and there's this new version, this transformation where you're stepping into your authority, being more the most authentic self. Why is the Page of Cups in reversed here? Wow. Queen of Wands, Two of Wands. There's someone here, unapologetic, immature, shallow type of energy. Page of Cups in reverse. Stepping into, tell me more about this Page of Cups. Is this in reverse? Is this, whose energy is the Page of Cups in reverse? Okay. King of Pentacles reversed is attached to that Page of Cups reverse. Someone immature, unstable, financially. This feels like someone who's very concerned with appearances. They're presenting. They want people to perceive them as abundant, effective, stable, grounded, but they're actually very immature, emotionally lacking. And then we've got the Queen of Wands, Two of Wands energy. This feels like your energy, Scorpio. You can take advantage of these energies. There's something about being yourself, not caring what anybody else thinks about you. I think that's part of the transformation. You might be coming out of a time period where you didn't know how to work with your own emotions. You felt unstable, dependent on others. I'm getting a real, with these energies that I'm describing, it feels like some of that is yours and some of it is someone else. Maybe there was an enmeshment, and that's why I'm having difficulty kind of seeing whose energy is what. If you've been in an environment with someone who's emotionally immature, unapologetic, who lacks the ability to create stability, abundance, they're more concerned with everybody else, then of course, when you spend time with someone like that, then you're going to have some of that energy in your own space. And if it was an unhealthy environment, which it looks like, then yeah, of course, some of the toxic elements, if you're connected with someone who's immature, emotionally immature, then you can't grow, right? And so you stay stunted and in that energy as well until you decide it feels like to transform. Feels like you're learning how to love yourself as you are, to not care what other people say or think about you. That you're willing to reimagine yourself in your life. This is transformational energy all over the place. All right, let's look at what's hidden. In what's hidden, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. A new opportunity. Boy, very quickly, Ace of Pentacles is a seed of potential. It's not a bag of money. It's not a windfall. It's a potential, a new pathway, new opportunity. And then that it's paired with the Ten of Wands, which is harvest. Those seeds have grown into those 10 wands, and this person has cut down those wands and is carrying them home to sell them. So very quickly in what's hidden, there's something where there's a seed of potential that very quickly leads to a harvest. Is there this exhaustion, tiredness because of carrying all those wands? Yes, but it's talking about a harvest. What's this new potential? What does Scorpio need to know about this new potential? Oh, Sun reversed. Not seeing it. Confusion. Unhappiness. Oh. There was confusion around this, a lack of clarity around an opportunity, a new pathway. Nobody would take, yes, very confusing. Two of Swords. It feels purposefully confusing. You thought it was leading to your happiness and joy, but instead it feels like it became a burden, exhaustion. Like you're having to do everything yourself is what I'm getting. And there's... Tell me about this confusion. It feels like there was a new opportunity, a path that you thought was going to take you to your happiness, but there's all this confusion around it and a lack of happiness. It feels purposefully confused. Yes. Okay, there we are. Two of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles reverse, Four of Wands, Hanged Man reverse, Ten of Swords. What I'm getting in what's hidden, Scorpio, is that someone offered you an Ace of Pentacles, a new pathway, an opportunity. There were expectations of joy, happiness, this being something that brings you a lot of happiness, but instead it feels like someone told you what you wanted to hear about this Ace of Pentacles, told you whatever it took to convince you to take this opportunity. And it feels like there's this joy, this happiness rushing towards whatever this new opportunity is. But there's some type of bait and switch. And after some type of agreement to take this opportunity on, which it feels like you're rushing towards because it feels like an amazing opportunity. But there's a bait and switch. And it's not turning out to be what you thought it was. Like even me describing the cards when they first came out. This is a great new potential opportunity, and it very quickly leads to your happiness. And sure, you have to put in work, but it's so worth it for the harvest. So even me as a reader, I was reading that. Feels like kind of a general idea of what you were perceiving. An amazing new pathway that leads, there's work and effort that you have to put in, but it leads to getting what you want. But someone played you, someone juggled you, told you what you wanted to hear to get you to hook on, to have you attached. And once you're attached, once you agree to this new pathway, then there's some type of switch where and betrayal, where you're having to do all the labor, and a lot of betrayal, sacrificing you. There was a bait and switch. You were told whatever you needed, and it feels like you worked very hard, exhausting, and it's so confusing because it's meant to be so happy, but someone didn't tell you what they really wanted out of this connection. Otherwise, you never would have agreed. So they told you what you wanted to hear until you were hooked, until you were like, this is my person, this is my opportunity, this is my path. And it feels like the longer you're on this path, the more exhausting, the more confused, the more betrayal, the more it's nothing, because you have a good faith effort here, but someone lied. Someone was deceptive. And so that's what's hidden, is it feels like you were led down a path deceptively. I'm getting, though, that it's not for naught. It's not a waste of time, because you've learned, you're taking what you've learned in what's hidden from that experience, and you're allowing it to transform you. You're empowering yourself. You're taking your power back. You're not allowing what you've gone through and the deception to hold you back. You're taking that information. You could very well be teaching others about this experience, but you're moving on, making moves. Have met yourself in deep and profound ways, and it feels like you are coming out the other side loving yourself, liking yourself, confident in who you are, not caring so much about what anybody else thinks about you, recognizing that it's not, do they like me, it's like, I like me. And it feels like you are in the process of this transformation, of becoming your most authentic self, reimagining yourself and your life. This also makes a lot of sense why the Page of Cups in reverse and King of Pentacles in reverse. That feels like whoever, I'm looking at the energies, not astrologically, but it feels like someone deceived, someone immature, because they could never pull you being emotionally mature. So they told you what you wanted to hear, just kept agreeing. And that's why this was so confusing. All right, in the outcome and advice, 8 of Wands in reverse, the Chariot again, Cancerian energy, and the Sun. Now the Sun's upright instead of in reverse like it was in What's Hidden. Something didn't go, 8 of Wands in reverse is stuck, no action, scattered energy. Page of Swords. There's some mentality, some way of perceiving things that have kept you stuck. Okay. Stuck in this past situation, in What's Hidden, what I was describing. And it feels like exhaustion, stuck, nothing going your way. So confusing, inability to take action. And something shifting where you're seeing things clearly, starting to perceive things accurately. Ooh, speaking out. I don't know if you can hear all that crashing down energy. There's a raven on the roof above me. It's my friend, Shivers. What I'm perceiving here, Scorpio, is you're getting out of that unstuckness and you're seeing things from a different vantage point, seeing things in a new way. And it's allowing you to take action, finally having energy, instead of wasting it, exhausting it with this person who promised you and created a bait and switch. I don't feel like that person ever intended to. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were manipulating your emotions, your mind, your mentality, and just saying yes to whatever you wanted, but they never ever had any intentions of delivering. Now it looks like, now that you see that, you're getting your energy back, not for that person in relationship, but for you, what you want in this new world, taking action in this new transformational energy towards what you want to create. Feels like you're figuring out who this new version of you is, reimagining yourself, and now it feels like you might be starting to really make moves. Chariot twice. Those are some of the fastest moving energies. Moving on, making moves. I get the feeling that someone, the same person, wanted to, there's something about your resources, making sure, didn't want you to have resources, didn't want you to have stability, wanted you to take all your expansive energy, your action, and only focus it on them. And it's been a challenge to mature emotionally. If you are in a connection, in a relationship with someone who's emotionally immature, whatever their bag is, whatever their stuff is, then of course, when you're connected and in a connection with them, some of their chocolate's going to get in your peanut butter. And it feels like what you're sifting through, you're allowing your emotions, you're getting to know your emotions. Maybe you've had to repress your emotions for a long time, not knowing how to sit with, understand your emotions. I'm also getting, there's something about seeking stability through partnerships. Maybe some codependency here. And it feels like you are healing so that need to have someone else validate your emotions. Okay, Chariot. Why is the Chariot in the outcome and advice? What does Scorpio... Now the Eight of Wands are upright. These are some of the fastest, the Chariot and Eight of Wands, fast moving action energy. The Knight of Swords is also a very fast moving energy, but it's air. It's not necessarily action. It can be beliefs, communication. This is action. Eight of Wands, Chariot. Things move very quickly once you remove this toxic element, once you transform and release, allow what has been holding you back to release it. This is major arcana. This is big shift. So this isn't happening in one day. This feels like a season of this type of change. And once you make these changes that might have you stuck, slowed down, it feels like you're relearning some things, learning how to do things yourself, not needing to be in a partnership, especially a partnership that requires you to be unstable. a lack resources, where you have to focus only on that person. And it looks like once you start shifting these energies, then things really start moving and you take action. It feels like you're preparing for this action, going through some healing. And then once this transformation happens, then boy, does it really start flowing. That feels like flow state. And the last card, Sun. Happiness, clarity, enjoying life, not being so bogged down and so confused by what's hidden. That's been so confusing and upsetting and disappointing. And there's clarity, happiness. It feels like you're really enjoying yourself. Taking action, yeah. It feels like you're also clearing up being in survival. And something shifts, transforms, and you're able to get to more thrive, flow states, enjoying life, not feeling like you have to prove yourself, that you have to work so hard, that you have to effort and try to get people to care. There's so much kind of like this trying to get somewhere, that you've been in like a survival mode, and it feels like it shifts and you start being more present, okay with where you are, more than okay, enjoying where you are, making moves, being present with those moves. Feels like without this toxic person that you've learned from, so it's not for naught. It's not that it feels like you're squeezing out every bit of information from this situation so you can transform and become the version of yourself that you really like, that you love, that you enjoy. You love yourself. You love what you're doing. Anything else that Scorpio needs to know about the Sun energy? Lovers reverse, Page of Pentacles, King of Wands. It feels like a story. After separating, breaking up with whoever this is, that's created a bait and switch. You're figuring out yourself in your life, seeing things differently, reworking things, and then taking action. In the overall energy, the Queen of Wands showed up, and it feels like you're learning how to love yourself just as you are. Not someday when you're healed enough, but loving who you are right now and every now going forward. And this allows you to be happy and go after taking action outwardly towards what you want to do. Enjoying life, like enjoying, not trying to arrive, not trying to get somewhere, but just enjoying your day. Period. All right, Scorpio, happy birthday again. Thank you all so much for allowing me to translate these messages for you. And thank you also for comments. And don't forget to like the video so I can grow this channel. All right, Scorpio, take care.